that team, LeBron, AD having so much experience,
Yeah.
kind of playing that tug of war with the pace.
Yeah.
What did you think of how that has gone down tonight, and how much of a challenge that is to try to get to your pace when they're obviously trying to slow it?
Yeah. It's something you kind of battle with every night. Each team tries to impose their will and impose their style on the game. Now clearly tonight they did that, and that's why they beat us the way they did. We didn't have enough energy and urgency tonight to kind of impose how we wanted to play on them, and they took advantage of it.
Shai, just what did you feel from them defensively? You mentioned them just kind of imposing themselves into the game. Just what did you feel from them defensively that kind of kept you guys from finding a consistent rhythm tonight?
They kept us out of transition. They made a lot of shots, got a lot of good looks. I think they were just comfortable offensively, and then they got to set their defense, and they're big and strong. And when you let a big and strong defense get set for most of the night, it's hard to score over them and score through them. So, I guess I think them being so comfortable offensively led to their defense being good.
Obviously, it's back to back, and some of that plays into how you guys are able to energy you're talking about. But how much are you able to step back from a game like this and say, okay, this is teams that are coming at us are gonna watch this game and see blueprints of okay, stop us in transition. Are you able to step back and look and see this might be how people play us, try to scheme against us in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I think more of it was just us not having enough tonight, though. I think we've ran into this during the season, and we've been able to kind of get back on track throughout the game and course correct and come out with a win. I just think we didn't have enough to do so. So it's more so that than kind of teams figuring us out.
Anybody else for Shai? Thank you, Shai.
Ooh, thanks guys.
You got it. It's got off to a nice start, and then it seemed like midway through that first, they were able to kind of change the tone of it. Anything you noticed about that period of time and what they were able to do?
Some of it was them, some of it was us. I'm sure they made adjustments in their timeouts. And on the other end, between missing shots and the floor getting kind of still, things weren't going our way, and we weren't able to kind of turn it around and course correct throughout the game, and we weren't able to come away with the win.
Yeah, it seemed like they really tried to bog the pace down a lot of this game. What's that like being in a tug of war on that level of the game, not just individual possessions, but against Anthony Davis and LeBron James and these guys that have been doing this for 15, 20 years?
Yeah, like you said, they've been playing a long time. They've seen a lot of basketball in their time, and when they slow the game down and are able to kind of script how it's going to go based on how we're playing them, what they have out there on the floor, especially when they get into their post-ups and understand what rotations are happening and how the floor is going, it really plays into their hands, and they know that slowing the game down, trying to limit us in transition, etc. They understand that, and they got to that tonight, and we have to figure out how to counter that if we play them again.
Chet, you guys were able to force 21 turnovers tonight, but it seemed like, especially in the second half, they were able to catch a little bit of rhythm offensively. Just what did you see out there from them, and kind of how they were able to get looks out there?
Credit to them. They hit some tough shots, but we had some breakdowns, some in the rotation, some on the glass, and we have to get back and be better in those areas. We're an athletic team with quick feet, and we really move, and that plays into our hands with forcing turnovers and speeding teams up and stuff. But we have to get better in all areas around that too.
What else we got over here? You go to Ramon first.
I know I don't want to make an excuse or anything. It's second night of a back-to-back, and so you play fast and pace-wise. How much just tired legs from last night playing into any of this today?
I'm sure everybody felt it one way or another. We had a lot of shots fall short tonight, especially from the outside. But if we're looking to really get better, we can't chalk this up to something like a back-to-back or any reason outside of what we have to get better at. We just simply have to get better at a lot of different things for when we play Portland next.
As you're coming up in the league, how much has Shai's career trajectory just been inspirational to you?
In a lot of different ways. I think it's great coming into the league and being able to look not only at what somebody does in games, on court every day, but also see the way he structures his life, how he handles everything, the way he works. It's really good to be able to watch that from an early stage in my career and kind of pick things that can help me to be better. Because he's obviously been around longer than I have, and he's tailored his life to be the best basketball player that he can be. So, I feel like there's a lot of great lessons to learn from him there.
If you had to play the Lakers again, do you think some of the issues you have with LA can be corrected, and one would be make a shot simpler?
I'm not going to sit here and say like no, we can't be better at certain things. Yes, of course we can be better at certain things. Shooting can be volatile. You can have great shooting nights. You can have bad shooting nights. But the things that are really going to complete you as a team are everything around that. If you're a really good team, you can still win a game on a bad shooting night. So we don't want to just rely on making shots to beat teams. So we got to get better at different areas and take away certain strengths of the Lakers if we play them again. And I feel like that'll put us in a better position.
Thank you, Chet.
Yeah.
For Coach.
Mark, you all got off to a really nice start. Midway through that second quarter, what seemed to change, either from an energy standpoint or a tactical standpoint, that you saw?
I thought, obviously the start was good offensively, but, our overall sharpness just wasn't there, even during that stretch. I thought we tried to drum that up a couple different times, but weren't obviously able to do it offensively. Defensively, we turned them over a bunch of times. That kind of kept us in it and kept the game within striking distance in the first half, but certainly not our fastball tonight.
Mark, obviously, you guys have been one of the more fluid teams in the league in terms of half-court creation. They seem to, from jump, kind of set the tone in terms of perimeter defense, AD at the rim. Just what did you see from the start of the game that maybe threw you guys off in terms of creation in the half-court?
I thought combination of things, but I just didn't think we were as sharp offensively as we needed to be. A team like that's got size and physicality, that's like a requirement to get good shots against them. And I just didn't think we met that requirement on enough possessions. We did on some for sure, but on enough to string together a good offensive night.
Yeah, and now this is the only team so far this year that's won a regular season series against you guys. What is it about? I know every game is different, but what is it about what they've done that's maybe had them? They've had your number almost.
Every game's different. So we're really not focused on like regular season series. We're trying to play the game in front of us and stack those up over the course of the season, and wherever that lands us, that lands us.
Coach, it seemed like they had a pretty good rhythm offensively throughout the night. They did have several turnovers, but shooting the ball above 50, above 40% from three. Just what did you see in terms of their shot making?
I thought, we got ourselves off to a good start defensively with the disruption, turn them over. I thought we made them earn some stuff. I thought their shot making showed up in the second half. It was one of those nights where I thought when we had a opportunity to grab a strangle on the game, we didn't take advantage of it. And then they caught some confidence and caught a rhythm in the second half, and then we had a hard time turning them off. Some of those shots were really, really tough. But there was a lot of controllable stuff prior to that I wish we took care of.
And then just wanted to ask you about Mike getting his first opportunity, first minutes here, and since signing with the Thunder.
Yeah, it was good to get him out there. Games like that, it's good for even down the stretch there, getting him a little bit of rhythm. Guys that don't touch the floor a ton, getting them a little bit of rhythm. But he did what he always does. He's reliable. He's a ball mover. He's a floor spacer. He shoots the right shots, keeps it moving side to side. So it's good to have him out there.
You always talk about just continuing to be aggressive with the different lineups that you're putting out, the different combinations that you have. We saw some Bismack, we saw some Mike. As you think about still having 19 games left, are nights like this going up against a team that's big, valuable for you guys to continue to evaluate different combinations?
Yeah, it's evaluation. It's also just getting the roster ready. I think it's my responsibility to make sure that everybody's ready for a situation if their number gets called or if it's most appropriate to use them. Jay Will's out right now, and so that opens up front court minutes, which we used some of those last night to go small with K. Rich at the 5. We used Biz last night, used him again tonight, used Mike a little bit tonight. So trying to get those guys sharpened up, get them in a bit of a situational role, and that goes for everybody. We don't know what we're going to need and when, and so keeping everybody in rhythm, sharp, and ready for those opportunities is important, and I think a responsibility that we have.
Davis is difficult for all the teams out there to defend. Third quarter, though, it seemed like he was a big problem in the paint for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I thought they got to the bonus early in that quarter, which was tough because then, that's really how that run happened. That run, I think we got it to like 3, and then it was probably like a 10-12-0 run or something like that. And it wasn't like a wave, it was just like a slow drip at the free throw line. And a lot of those were just bonus fouls, so a lot of those were him, on the glass and finishing plays. But he's a load. He's obviously a very good player. It just for us to neutralize him or do a good job on him, we got to have high energy and intensity, and I didn't think we had that enough tonight.
I think by now we can say that, Shai's 20 points on 13 shots compared to the season he's had is maybe below his usual standard. I know on the last LA trip, I think he had 19 in a couple of those games. The season opener, home opener, he had 7 against Denver. When you see performances like this for him, like what do you see as maybe some of the common denominators in teams limited in the rare moments they do?
I don't really have a common denominator. You can ask him, but I think he's spoiled everybody with 30, 2-point performances. And his consistency with that is made a 20-point game loud, which is a credit to him. 20 points on 13 shots for a lot of players is a great night. And so, I think we got to be careful, not to hold him too high to the standard that he's established. That's certainly not a night that he's capable of, but, he's not going to score 30 every single night, and these games are part of it.
Anyone else, Coach?